So I'm just like I'm thinking about in my head, how do you change what people think about? You know what I'm saying? Because that's what the elite um, that's what the elite know how to do, is make us think a certain way that's created this whole reality. So the whole question is, how do you change what people think about? And that's what you talk about. You know something else, you talk about something different that's against the norm, against the societal, you know, means. Like there's the thing of the calf path. It's this poem called The Calf Path, about a calf that was in the woods and then it took a different path, and all the calves were like, why is that calf doing that? And then in the end, they all ended up taking that same path. And that was actually a poem that I learned about someone that was a remote viewer from. So, and remote viewing and stuff like that, it's obviously out of the norm, but that was like 8 years ago, because it's getting more and more into the norm as we spot what was unusual and like on the fringe, and all this stuff that was is now getting less on the fringe and accepted, because as we're getting further and further in time, explanations are being wanted, and religion's not able to explain, and then science thinks they know how to explain, but they're just completely leaving out a whole nother reality, which is like OBEs, NDEs, all of that. Science is basically saying there's no proof of an afterlife and stuff like that. So if you want to believe that, you can go the scientist way, the atheist, agnostic way, and think that. But the Illuminati actually figuring out everything, the grand unified theory of everything, being able to explain both the physical, mental, everything, and unifying it, are definitely the proof to a whole another reality. That the minds and mainstream masses of this reality don't accept, which keeps it from being experienced. But there are those of us that are broken out of it, of the matrix, that are communicating to those that are out of it, but are also still coming out. That's the frustration and stuff, is still communicating it to every mind that's not free. Because once you get out of the matrix, once you take the hero's journey, get out of the matrix, and you're out, you just want to communicate what the truth is to all the minds that are still in it. So in my personal endeavor to truth, I came across the Illuminati, the secret society, that has always opposed the elite, the powers that be of this world, that are operating outside of the Demiurge's confines. That is they're operating outside of hell, we could say, because this is hell here on this earth. So that's the thing, is I've learned, with being a contactee, being an experiencer, and actually gathering information through the Enlightened One. People are chosen they're chosen by the ones that are beyond this existence. They're chosen because they're different, and they exuberate different qualities and other different things, and to be preserved. Because if you belong to the future, you will be preserved, and that's why there are people that are focused on by higher beings that are way beyond like our understanding, but we're working on it, understanding. But those people are protected. You know what I'm saying? Because they're supposed to make it to the future. And it's getting to that time because like we can't be dying and stuff like that and having to do the reincarnation loop again, because that's what I'm understanding. Because it's like, okay, I could die in this life, get born back again. I do the same thing again, the same thing I'm doing right now, talking against the elite, talking about who God is and what God is and all that, which has led me to finding the Illuminati. My search for God led me to the Enlightenment. So that's what I am getting across with my life, because there is the conspiracy community, UFO community. That community is a community that is definitely searching for truth. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different things, but really, to make it simple, the bottom of the line and the main thing is that you are divine and you are God, and that you're creating your reality. That's just to make it simple. So I've been doing the videos on the history of the Illuminati, the last and I've been switching it up, doing different books in the series. I'm on different things, I did one on the God Within, which talks about illumination and stuff like that, and then one on Mad as Hell, just all about why things are getting crazier on the earth. And then I did the Illuminati Manifesto, which is basically the blueprint that the Illuminati has set out for a new world, like a new world, which is what this world needs the most. And I did another one on children's spooky powers, the Sixth Sense, all about psychic paranormal phenomena. And I also did another video on organic intelligence versus, and why organic intelligence will always beat out artificial intelligence. So that actually explains the question there about everybody that's afraid about AI taking over and stuff. Organic intelligence will always beat it out. So I'm going through like a lot of really interesting, amazing topics to talk about. Like, these are the most amazing topics I can even think about discussing. Even to the point to where I'm alone right now. In a like, I've always done this for years. I've just been alone because I have not met anyone else that is able to talk on this level, except for the contact that I have in the ACIO, which is Peter the Insider. So I am doing this because I know that everything that I'm talking about is going to be of the utmost importance very soon, and it will be a very good thing that I did all this work before that time comes. So I was I'm gonna start another book. It's the Case for Meritocracy, and I wanted to start this because I wanted to start explaining meritocracy, because it's very clear that the government and the political system is jacked the fuck up, and it's corrupt, ruled by privilege, elites, and stuff like that. The main example of that is actually seeing, one of them in office, a rich oligarchic plutocrat like Donald Trump. He is it's bad to say, he is the better of the two choices, because the other one's a liberal, it's a liberal democratic, woke, pushing that agenda, and this is the political war going on right now. The Illuminati are the third way. Like, you don't have to get involved in all that stuff if you find the Illuminati. So I decided to go through this book, The Case for Meritocracy, because this explains what a meritocracy is. And this knowledge is not known by people, and has been stamped out because I've never heard anyone talk about it. And if you have, then let's talk about it, and then let's make it happen. Because this is not fucking working, and the people have to start a revolution, and we have to demand a meritocracy, and that actually comes through the meritocratic party. So that's going to be very important for the future too, is being a meritocrat. Not a Democrat, not a Republican, being a meritocrat. Alright, so I'm going to read the synopsis of this book, and here we go. The human race is ill. One story above all reveals the sickness at the core of the human psyche, the tale of the tree of knowledge. What does it say about the human race that knowledge is associated with the loss of paradise, with the forbidden, with the defiance of the rightful authority, God, with the alliance with the serpent, the devil, and with the advent of suffering, sin, and death? Why should we be surprised that Martin Luther, the founder of Protestantism, described reason as the devil's whore? Why has Socrates put it to death by Athenian democracy? Why has no genius ever been a king, prime minister, or president? Why are the intellectuals held in contempt? Knowledge and reason have always been viewed by the human race as distasteful, suspect, unnatural, and likely to lead to trouble. Of course, the smartest human beings have always taken the opposite view. It's ignorance, faith, and irrationalism that are holding back humanity. The allegory of the ship of fools derives from Plato, one of the world's greatest geniuses, and describes the disaster that will befall a ship if the crew gets rid of the navigator, i.e., if the fools, contemptuous of knowledge and expertise, put themselves in charge of steering the vessel. Human history has been subject to three disastrous forces. The three horses of the apocalypse, we might say. They are the power of violence, war, military strength, everything that's sustained by brute force. 2, the power of stories, religion, monarchy, everything sustained by the beliefs people hold, by the mythos they have chosen to explain their lives to themselves. And 3, the power of money, universal currency for buying what you want, for getting people to do what you want because they crave the money you can give them. Human societies have always been ruled by military elites, or mythos elites, religious or royal or rich elites. They have never been ruled by intellectual elites. Human societies have always been ruled by... Humanity could be saved by knowledge, understanding, reason, and logic, but these have always been despised by the average person. Plainly, None of these things plays any role in the lives of typical Muslims, Jews, Christians, Sikhs, Buddhists, Hindus, Taoists, or consumer capitalists. They play no part in prayer, meditation, and going shopping. No one in the West says you can be saved by maximizing your intelligence. No, you must instead maximize your irrational faith. No one in the East says that the path to enlightenment is the one concerned with the most rational ontology and epistemology. No, you must cross your legs, close your eyes, and literally try to escape from your own mind. The exact definition of a mindless ideology. No capitalist says that anything other than buying stuff can make you happy. In comparison with the three horses of the apocalypse, intellectual attributes have never played a decisive role in human affairs. They have always served the horses and never controlled them. The intelligista have always been advisors and never those occupying the throne and taking decisions. What would happen if the world, if logos people rather than, what would happen to the world if logos people rather than mythos people were in charge? If smart people rather than military people were in charge? If people of knowledge ruled rather than people of wealth? The world would be transformed. Humanity would undergo a wonderful metamorphosis. A political system exists that can deliver this new world order. A world where intelligence becomes the most valued resource. It's called meritocracy. Yeah, and that's just the introduction. Because it just hits upon every important fact in the beginning. Because the Illuminati are very, very strict with what they know, because they know it, and they identify the different aspects of the control in what I just read, and they say human societies have always been ruled by military or mythos elites, meaning religious or royal. The royal being using the mythos, of religion and stuff to keep their power. But they've never been ruled by intellectual elites, like actual reasonable, like logical people in office by merit, because of the way that it's been, that the old world orders run thing by being able to put people in positions of power by privilege. Through money, and the number one main premise of being a meritocrat is 100% inheritance tax, because that ends everything. That 100% inheritance tax ends the way everything is right now. How everything's all fucked up. 100% inheritance tax ends it. And I learned that through the Illuminati, because it gets back the money from the privileged elites that keep, passing it on in perpetuity, like throughout time, so that they can keep ruling. So 100% inheritance tax is the answer. And I wouldn't have known that without finding the Illuminati, like the answer to the problems, because everybody's talking about the problem right now, but the Illuminati have the solution. So 100% inheritance tax, and then people are like, well, then it goes to the government, and then they're gonna spend it on bad things. At that point in a meritocracy, the best people are in the positions of power, so it's not misused. So that answers that question too. So, alright, I got 10 more minutes on this. I'm gonna start this book, because there's so much to go over, but the best thing to know is that, this is happening. The universe is making this happen. This is what's This is what's happening. This is the explanation of everything. The reason for existence, purpose of reality is evolution. The Illuminati figured it out, have all the knowledge of what is happening, and they are getting it out in these books. So that's why I've taken it upon myself to get up all this information out, because it explains what's happening, and that's the fall of a system and the replacement of a new one. So and it's funny though, because like I'm not gonna go into the woo-woo realm right now, but I am gonna go into the woo-woo realm right now, because Travelers, the show Travelers has a very important meaning to me, because that's what I've been involved in. I've been involved in time travel, been sent back from the future. That's why I know all this information, and that's why I'm trying to change the timeline. With this information, with actions and stuff that I'm doing, definitely trying to prevent a civil war and start a revolution. And because and it doesn't have to be a violent revolution, because just knowing this information, it doesn't have to get violent. That's why that's why I'm talking about it. That's why I spent the past 8 years of my life studying and finding the Illuminati, and taking my time to devote myself to the great work. Because my life and committing myself to the great work back long time ago, back in 2012, led me to the enlightened ones. And I have my whole story is about finding the enlightened ones, the secret society that has been here, and that is here, and will always be fighting for a new world order, a better world, a Star Trek society, the future. What I'm saying? Not held back anymore, because that's what the elites have held back from us, is the future. They've kept us in this phase where we think it's like 2024 and all this stuff. It ain't 2024. You know what I'm saying? Time doesn't even exist. They just have everybody thinking it's 2024. So we keep this reality going on, this time reality that is actually not what's really going on, and people are going to be glimpsing that as we get closer, to the unveiling of what's really going on. Alright, so you can talk about conspiracies, aliens, all this stuff, but and there's still conjecture and all those things, but the Illuminati, there's no conjecture in what they're saying. This is you can read this and you can know that it's the truth, and so that's why I'm reading it. The trouble is, the world hates clever people. Average people can't understand intellectuals and can't relate to them. They love rich people, celebrities, prophets, popes, princes, princesses, lords, ladies, generals, models, actors, reality TV stars, you name it. Everyone other than the intelligent. And that's why the world is so insane. That's so true, because there's society, and then there's there's social consciousness and outside of social consciousness. And you're either in social consciousness or outside of social consciousness. And I spent a long time in meditation, in learning and stuff, getting outside of social consciousness, which took me outside of the world of religion, popes, princes, old beard prophets, celebrities, worshiping these people Like, I got out of that level of consciousness. And, that takes you into the another realm, like an intelligent realm, where the beings that have ascended from all this reside. Because this bread and circuses, little three-dimensional just craziness of what reality is not what fucking reality is. Isn't it time humanity left its self-imposed mental asylum? Isn't it time humanity had no fear of eating of the fruit of the tree of knowledge and started respecting people of knowledge above all others? It's God and all the rest of the nonsense that should be forbidden, feared and despised, not knowledge. Knowledge is our true savior and provides the true path to salvation. Reason and logic, not faith, meditation and shopping are the keys to unlock the door of the madhouse in which we're all currently imprisoned. Alright, so they hurting up like the fact that, we should be eating of the tree of knowledge. The religions tell you that we're in hell because of that, but we really should be eating of that. And there's a reason why the religions say that you'll go to hell, because they don't want you to know the truth. And the thing about reason and logic, not faith. Faith is, it's like, oh, faith, I believe. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I believe everything's going to be okay. Like that is not what's going to lead you to the truth. Like, knowledge is what's going to lead you to the truth. And what it's actually always led you to the truth. Like, not faith. Not meditation. Like, they do this because Eastern religions focus on like meditation and just like escaping the world of samsara and escaping it, and it's like, fuck the world, I'm escaping, but it's like, that's not what it's all about either. Like, meditation is not what it's all about and escaping the world. It's about like a synthesis. And shopping, the predatory capitalistic thing about what gives you happiness. That's what we're all trying in search for, is happiness. And that's the connection to the divine. And shopping's not going to get that either. The endless shopping, that's buying new shit, is not going to get you the happiness. The being connected to the divine, and is going to be what does that. And illumination has definitely done that for me, because I know that that the universe has my back, and that's definitely powerful. So, I'll finish this off. Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged would be a worthwhile book if it were about the intelligentsia going on strike rather than the super-rich capitalist predators. If it were a book defending reason and logic rather than the U.S. dollar. But Rand would have got nowhere if she had advocated the smartest rather than the richest being in charge. As it stands, Rand's work is staggeringly anti-intellectual. It's nothing but a hymn to greed, selfishness, and money. It's a love letter to the wealthy elite, which is why they revere it so much. So about Ayn Rand and Atlas Shrugged, that's all about the elite going on strike and, the world needing them. And it should have been the other way around, about writing about the intelligentsia of the world, the smart people, brilliant people in the world being in power, and, going on strike to not rule the world, because people would see how much they needed the smart people instead of the fucking rich people. So Atlas Shrugged is it's a hymn to the rich. Isn't it time we left behind the ship of fools and embarked instead on the ship of geniuses? What is the Star Trek vision of the future, if not a depiction of a world ruled by meritocrats? You wouldn't let the religious, the violent, or the rich on board a starship. With them in your crew, you'd never reach your destination. You'd go round and round in circles, or crash. And this is just like to all the community, the UFO community, all that stuff. The Illuminati have the blueprint to a Star Trek future. So if you want to know how it's going to get to that, you should definitely study the Illuminati, because what's depicted in that is a meritocracy. Gene Roddenberry was a Freemason, and he wasn't a bad one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so if humanity wants to arrive at the gates of heaven, only the stardust humans can build the sleek vessels to take us there. Prayer, meditation, and the super rich didn't land men on the moon. Incredibly smart humans did, using reason, logic, technology, engineering, science, and mathematics. These are all subjects most shunned by average people, and that's exactly the human tragedy. So, it's saying that, we need the smart, brilliant people to be building the starships, and we need to stop, keeping those people, because the elite, they find out about who's making stuff, and then they kill them or they recruit them, and that just needs to stop, because we need to stop them from keeping us, humanity, the people, from advancing, which is what they're doing. So, but the purpose of the universe is to advance, so they can't stop that. All right, I'm gonna end there, but the next chapter in this book is called the tipping point, because we are getting there. It's about we're about to reach we've reached the tipping point, and once we find out what the truth is, everything's going to change. And the truth is that we are not like human flesh and blood, like slave creatures, to just we're divine. We create with our thoughts, and the more together we are more, and we can actually create anything we want. So that's the future. Until next time.